right. Good afternoon on this lovely March 8th, 2026 edition of our show here in the Other Hood. This is Penelope Flynn, and I'm here with Sonia, James, Nikki, Otto, and hoping that Cranston will be joining us soon, where we'll be talking about the 10 best space based films of all time. But before we get started, as usual, we talk a little about the weather. And since James, you are our top center, tell us how the weather is in New York. New York this morning, this afternoon, I guess to say.
Uh,
Time
right,
change, time change. Okay.
right now it's a bit of confusion. On my phone, it says it's 45 degrees and cloudy, but on my computer, it says it's 64 degrees and mostly cloudy.
Okay. Cloudy or mostly cloudy. Right. So, but how does it feel to you?
Uh, f- you know what? It feels like weather.
Feels like weather.
Yeah,
Whether or not it feels like weather.
yeah.
All right.
Oh,
And
now my phone says 64 degrees. So
okay. All right. Okay. All right. So there we got the weather from James. Was it did you have rain this week at all, or is it just
no, we had some rain earlier. You know, this week passed a little bit.
mhm,
Um, but other than that, it seems like things are starting to, kick over into spring.
mhm. Wow. I don't think we well here's some well today actually I'm still in South Florida. So it's, sunny and mild, looks really good. So, I'm not feeling that right now. So how about you, Otto? How's North Texas?
It's doing well, actually. We had a pop up thunderstorm yesterday. It really came out of the blue, literally and figuratively. It's just the wind started blowing and really hard, and
Hmm.
the thunder and lightning and all that stuff. Then it
Hmm.
stopped the half today. And then now it's really sunny and about 65 degrees. So it's supposed to be that way for the remainder of the week. So it's pretty good.
All right, sounds good. And how about you, Nikki? How's the weather?
It is nice. It is 84 degrees and sunny here.
That sounds lovely, isn't it? 80 degrees.
It
It's
is.
sunny and beautiful. Yes.
It
Yes.
is
And
nice.
all right. And Sonia, how's the weather up in the Arctic?
It's not the Arctic now. It because it
Yay!
did snow Friday
Hmm.
Thursday night, so Friday was completely icy. It reached
Hmm.
71 yesterday,
Wow.
and now it's 48. We're due back for snow again. I'm checking the double
Hmm.
check. We're due back for snow again on Wednesday and Thursday
All right,
when it gets
cool.
back down to 30.
All right, this sounds good. I mean, still you get winter, but it's not killing you yet.
Yet
Yet, I
that
mean,
ice that
but you're
ice
probably
that black ice was really nasty on
yeah,
Friday.
yeah. But you know what they call the pneumonia weather because it's warm and then it gets cold. It's warm, and
Yeah.
you've got to be careful. The way you dress.
Yes.
Make sure that you're staying, warm and then not overly hot so that you sweat and then it gets cold and then you get sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, be careful of the pneumonia weather. All right, and Nikki, how's the weather for you? I mean, did your weather? Who did we
She
miss? I
did.
know it was
It's
somebody.
Cranston.
Cranston,
Cranston.
Cranston. It's who we
Yes,
missed.
I'm back.
Florida. He's back. How's the weather? Hello, hello.
And the weather here is all over the place. It's supposed to rain sporadically.
Mhm.
It's supposed to get warm toward the end of the week. It's supposed to get cold again Thursday. It's supposed to
Mhm.
warm up again next weekend. So it's kind of like you just stick your head out of the door and say, okay, I'll take my
Mhm.
chances.
And let me say, what a trooper Cranston is.
Yeah.
Laying on his back like a 42nd Street hooker. Still doing the show.
Wow. Look at him. Great. Thanks. Lovely. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Um. Let's see. Well, Cranston, since you raised this issue regarding this little listing of the 10 best space-based films of all time. Tell us, why you thought this was something that was interesting, and
But I
whether or
don't
not you
know. Am
think
I
this
being
list
heard
is
or what?
just something that somebody just ran out and just dumped a whole bunch of stuff. I hear you now. Can you not hear me?
Sounds like
Okay,
he
who can't
couldn't.
hear who? You can't hear us.
I can hear everybody.
I can hear everybody,
Yeah, I
but
can hear
Cranston
you
apparently
guys sporadically cutting in and out, but
Just start
yes,
talking. Just start
yeah.
talking.
Just what do you think about that list of 10, Cranston? Okay, I hope you can see the screen because I'll just ask it on screen. You know, can you read your? Are you reading the screen? I guess he can't hear me ask him. So
By the way, speaking of reading a screen, I saw a movie that only James could love. By the way,
really,
yeah, you were talking about those scary horror movie
yes,
trailers. I saw a movie
yes.
called Primate.
Is it primal or primate?
Primate. It's
Okay,
about a
and how was
monkey.
it?
Yeah, yeah, that's how it was. It's like just about the experience that Cranston was going through, like a monkey, like trying to punch the thing on a screen. All kind of monkey shots with him.
Mhm.
It was it's not a horror movie. It was
It's
a
a
horrible
horrible movie.
movie.
Okay.
And they were
Okay.
hitting the monkey was punching the screen like you were saying like like you were had words and stuff like he would say Sonia bad or
Okay,
James
you said it was a horrible movie.
it was
Yes.
it was a horrible movie. It was in this link that Penelope has sent me for trailers for horror films, the best horror
Yes.
films for
Supposedly that are coming up, upcoming horror films.
So
Yes.
yeah, this thing was already out, so I saw it online. It would probably warm your cockles.
Okay, you ever thought that maybe the movie is good, but you, the viewer, are horrible?
It could be, it could well be, but you can
Why?
only tell by watching it because it's yeah.
Why?
I'm
I
going in
mean,
next week for an eye transplant, so
I mean,
Well,
why, attack the movie? Maybe it's you. You ever
it
thought
could
have
that?
you
be.
seen it? Have you seen the movie before? Or have you heard of it before?
I've heard of it, yeah.
All right. And so, what is the premise of this film, Otto?
The premise of the film is some reason in the beginning that the producers it's a major studio film. So in the
No,
beginning for
which studio?
Paramount,
Paramount. Okay,
which
that
seems to
says
be a
a lot.
major, I think it's a major
Uh huh.
studio.
Uh
And
huh.
so in the beginning they have to tell you this thing about, the origin of the word hydrophobia.
Uh huh.
And like it's a thing that gets audiences are seen for the first time, like hydrophobia. And then they say, well, now known as rabies or something, so
Uh huh.
like nobody knew what that was, until they told it. And
Well, some people
so,
may not know.
okay, I I,
Okay,
would- I would think that I know that when I was a kid. So
but
I
everybody
think
didn't go
that
to school.
apparently not the way the world is being run. That's
Yeah, you
probably
know
what it
that.
is. And so they're going to a big production number about hydrophobia and now it's rabies. And so for Sonia and James, there's reading. So there's reading on the screen. You have to read. And so you get into this thing about reading and what hydrophobia, and then of course now you got this ape who's like he knows sign language, and then when he gets tired of using sign language, he has this device that he hits, and he doesn't use any prepositions or anything. He just stuff like Sonia bad, James good, James bad, Sonia good, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he communicates, and then so you put two and two together, and that's your film. And it's also combined with like a teen slasher film, so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of teen, sexuality stuff going on, and it's yeah, it's a
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. It's a yeah. All right.
You are obviously not the audience they intended for this movie.
Apparently not. But I was in the trailers for best horror films of 2026, and I say it's not a horror film; it's a horrible film or a horrible
Oh,
horror film.
okay.
And I don't see
So,
how a movie that involves a sign language ape or gorilla
yeah.
is a horror film. And the monkey's name
But
is Ben.
haven't they done
The
that
monkey's name is
before?
Ben. The monkey's name is Ben. It's like okay. You know, we have animals named Ben in it. Films.
That's never good.
Like you got a really kind name, like a
Yeah.
kind and gentle name, but it's a monster.
Gentle Ben. Remember that?
I was thinking of the movie Ben
I was
with the rats.
Well, I was thinking like the good name of Ben was remember the bear, Gentle Ben?
I
Yeah.
was thinking like Sonya, like the rat, the Ben.
Well, then of course, I think that first you were saying that it's a nice name. So I'm thinking that you were talking like Gentle Ben. And then
Nah,
they made Rat Ben, who was not so gentle, right?
nah.
Right.
I
Rat
was
Ben
thinking
was
now that I
actually
think about
really
it.
gentle until you got him mad.
Well, Ben was black,
Yes.
and then there's a problem. He had a problem with I think Socrates, who was white.
Right. Yeah, see, they made that clear, didn't they?
Yeah, and
Socrates is a good rat.
Socrates was a
Ben
good
is a
rat, as if
bad
there
rat.
it's any such thing as a good rat and a bad rat. But the only good rat is a dead rat.
That's right. In the world of Otto, the only good rat is a dead rat.
Yeah. So Socrates was a white rat. He was kind, and then Ben, got jealous and did all these strange things, and then had a film made about him and a Michael Jackson song. So it shows you
Yes.
what you can do as a rat. But anyway, the thing
Okay.
Ben,
I
the
don't
first
know.
thing
I don't know if that's a thing, but okay.
yeah, but he had a song
What you
written
can do as a rat.
He had
Yeah.
a love song written about him.
Keeps
exactly.
his friend. That's
Okay,
right.
okay. It's time for me to go to my mime act. What is this?
Yeah. We're way off topic.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just saying,
Space.
So
All right.
this all generated for the fact that Cranston was using a screen to chat in order to communicate.
Okay. And he's back. He's back now.
Okay.
I tried to use a screen to communicate with Cranston instead he can hear. So I said, okay, I wrote it on the screen. What do you think about that list of 10, Cranston?
Well, the bad thing about the internet, and I had a debate with a with a roommate recently who believed that the be all and end all of all knowledge was Google. That if you wanted to know anything about anything in the universe, go to Google.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay. And I was trying to tell him, well, that's not necessarily the case. But he said I didn't know anything because, well, I didn't look it up on Google. So,
Go ahead.
but the thing is about, people put these lists up, and if it's fairly, doesn't have a lot of typos, and it looks like they, and they're you can feel their passion, you think they might know what they're talking about. And then if you scroll down, you find something that says something that's absolutely the opposite. So this list I have some problems with because some of the items on this list I would not include on a list, period. And then the second thing I noticed, I think at least 3 of the objects on the thing were all Kubrick films. And that seemed a little bit suspicious there too. So it's and also this is part 1. There's a part 2 coming somewhere. So it's the kind of thing that's a good conversation starter, but I wouldn't exactly, I wouldn't exactly, quote it as an authority.
Well, since the list goes like from 10 to 1, and when I read it, and I found it to be so just. I mean, I have no idea why these particular films are chosen. I mean, some of them, I think one that I thought was like, okay, that I would think of, everybody thinks of like Star Wars, of course, and Star Trek, these, franchises, correct. But within the franchise, the ones that they named are the ones I'm like, well, I don't know if I would have named those particular ones in the franchise to be on the best of list.
Well, is
Mhm.
about the Star Wars was he included the original trilogy as
Right,
one entry. And I said, well,
right.
I can't quite see what was the last one? Return of the Jedi? I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, the first film, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, the original, trilogy. And I could see somebody saying, "Yeah, because that tells like a whole story." I get it. But then when they list like the Star Trek films, uh, then they separate them. But I don't agree with the ones they chose.
Yeah.
I think no, those were not the ones that I would have chosen. Like to choose the Undiscovered Country, I would not have chosen the Undiscovered Country at all. That would not have made my list at all. And so I mean, many people may have liked it, but that would never have been on my best of list.
Yeah, and the thing is that and this is blasphemy and stuff, and facing me pushed me out of the airlock. But I really don't think that of the 13 Star Trek films, I don't think Wrath of Khan was very, very good, but I don't think it's the best film.
No, I don't think so either. And I think I'm that's what I'm wondering what was their standard, for choosing these particular films, especially films from a franchise where there are so many films. Why that film as opposed to another film, Is it because you say, well, because I'm a big Ricardo Montalban fan, so I chose that particular film. I didn't think. I think the whole point, like Kirk having his son, and then he gets killed and stuff like that. Oh, come on, y'all. Um, yeah, no, I know. So I don't know how anybody else feels. Everybody thinks that there's a film that's missing, but I think one thing that I find that is truly missing, like, okay, so they name you Alien, right? The first Alien film,
Yeah,
but not the second one, not Aliens, which I thought in my mind was a better film,
yeah, it was.
but not named. So I don't understand why they picked the first one, but not the second one.
Um, can I say something?
Sure, sure,
Um,
always.
first of all, I if you're gonna make films the top 10 uh space films, right? Space-based films, films set out in outer space, I would I feel that the franchise movies should not be included on the list because to me that's a whole different thing. You have your top 10 Star Trek movies, your top 10 or top 5 Star Wars movies. So to me they should be separate. Okay, they should have
I
their
get that. I
yeah,
get that.
their own list. And because how can you and don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars, but to include it in one I guess level or whatever, the whole trilogy,
Right, it's one film.
yeah, I don't understand that. I myself, I
Hmm.
listen, I was hypnotized, mesmerized, fell in love with the first one, but
Hmm.
I think that the Empire Strikes Back is the best out of the first
I
trilogy.
agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, because it was. I think the subplots was so great.
Yeah.
You know, um, with Star Trek, yeah, Wrath of Khan is the most popular, but to me, I don't think that's that's the best. Actually, I to me, upon reflection, at first I was like, well, what is this? Actually, to me, the first Star Trek the motion picture
Hmm.
is the best because it was more science fiction.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's not to me. That's not my best. If I had a personal favorite, it would be Star Trek Generations, but that's because I have a thing for the Duras sisters. Setting that aside, okay. Um, Can I? Did you guys say that it was 4 Stanley Kubrick movies on the list?
I think
Was
I
it
remember three.
3?
I know they had The Shining and
Mm-hmm.
I think Clockwork Orange.
Okay, so
Okay. Well, how's it? Okay, those can't be on this list, right? Because those aren't space-based films, right?
thank you. Because when,
Well,
yeah,
Those aren't
how they get
space-based films.
how they get on the list?
well, I had to think about how Donnie Darko got on the list.
Who? That's
Maybe
on
I
the list.
missed. Maybe I read the wrong list or something. I don't remember Donnie Dark, but I guess wow. Well, maybe they think because it's out of space monster. I don't know. Is it an outer space monster? Is it?
I oh boy, who as usual I say who made this list with. Wait a minute, and see this is what I'm saying because when you said 4 Stanley Kubrick movies, I was like, I only recall 2001. A
Okay,
Space.
2001. Okay, this is a space film. Okay, all
Yeah,
right, I get it. Okay, but those things like those are not space films unless you're saying that Donnie Dark is things a space alien or something. I don't get it.
I don't get it neither. I don't I some and see when I saw before before we started when I saw the title, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, my favorite film of all times
Mm-hmm.
is 1953's War of the World,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out, well, how can I get that on my list because it's a science fiction film, but it's not necessarily set in space.
But it's space based because they are space aliens, right? They come from where our
Right,
presumption is.
right, and it's a lot more space based than The Shining.
Well,
Yeah, go on.
if you squint real hard, you say, well, the Earth is in space, so
Okay,
that
all right,
makes it a
all right,
space movie.
okay, Francis. All right.
Now he's right. If you squint real hard and you click your heels and
Mm-hmm.
say there's no place like home,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, then it
Mm-hmm.
is.
That is
You know,
craziness. So what is this person thinking? Mm-hmm. I don't know
Well,
what to say.
I think it's probably somebody who I don't know. The only thing I can figure is that in a lot of places back in the 60s, they used to do Saturday was like science fiction theater, or they would just
Mm-hmm.
throw a science fiction movie on there
Mm-hmm.
in the day to keep the kids quiet till the news came on.
Yeah.
And those are things that you watched, and they made an impression on you, and they
Mm-hmm.
just kind of all melded together. But
right?
it says that you really don't understand the genre either
Mm-hmm.
as a science fiction or as a space movie. That you threw these things in here, and it's kind of like, well, these are things that made an impression on me, and that's what I remember. But are you sure that was the movie that you watched?
Yeah, so you sure that's the movie that you watched? I like that. Are
Yeah,
you sure that's the movie that you watched?
I don't get that. Again, I don't get why The Shining. And don't get me wrong, I love The Shining,
I mean, are they
but
saying that the ghosts are space monsters? I mean, that's
oh,
all I think. I'm trying to. Are they? What are they saying? I'm trying to figure this out.
okay, now that's okay. You hit now we're like hitting a base hit, and we're trying to stretch it into a triple.
That's right. I'm doing that,
You
and
know,
that must be because I'm trying to figure it out.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, whoever made this list is a lot of flaws. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
like not knowing the difference between space and not space. I mean,
Yeah,
are they saying that? Okay, and this is another question I have. For those of you all. I mean, I guess it's obvious, but maybe not so obvious. Is every space film science fiction? Well, I guess you have space films that are science fact. Like for instance, The Right Stuff, right?
right.
Right? Or
Apollo
or
13.
or Apollo 13, right? these are space fact, not space fiction. Do those
Right.
count as space-based films, or do they all have to be science fiction?
Or even if you take it back that far, Marooned is pretty much space is fact based.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you also have space or science fiction horror.
Right, and
Okay.
that's the kind of things like Event Horizon.
I was
You know,
yeah, I was getting
that's
ready
you're
to say
thinking
that.
about
Yeah.
Event Horizon as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't think a film that's discussed a whole lot, but that is a psychological horror, horror, space horror film. My God, that to me is like one of the scariest films ever. You know, I mean, you're out there, this thing happens, and you're stuck, and you're in it forever. You don't know how long. It's just that film to me was very scary.
Yeah. So whoever, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but maybe they should have relabeled it instead of the top 10 space-based films. And they would have had to stretch it from 10 to like 25. Maybe they should have came up with the
These
top
are some
20.
films that I saw a list
Yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah,
That's what it's called. These are the
yeah.
films that I saw a list of. Thank
Yeah,
you.
these are my favorite films.
Yeah,
That's
these are some films that I like, or I
yeah.
might actually dislike them, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
I
don't
just
know.
saw them
I
listed
just saw
somewhere.
them.
Eh,
I had a deadline to make. I
that's
don't
right.
know.
That's right.
Yeah.
The old overnight book report was supposedly done over the past 9 weeks of school.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, can we like pivot to forget about the list to
Right?
our
Yeah, sure, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Um
So, what are your favorites? I mean, you'd have to go, 1 to 10 or anything like that, but what stands out to you as a
uh,
really good space-based film? And it could be comedy, it could be horror, drama, whatever, science, based film. But what is it that stands out for you, the best space-based films?
for me,
Mm-hmm.
um again we could put an asterisk to it next to it, but
Mm-hmm.
to me, War of the Worlds, 1953,
Mm-hmm.
and not that abomination from last year. We will not talk about. Um,
What about the Tom Cruise version?
I to me the Tom Cruise version, it was cool. It
Yeah,
was
I didn't
cool.
dislike it. I didn't
Yeah,
dislike it.
yeah. Actually, I would put it right next to the 1953 version as the
Mm-hmm.
best adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was once a TV series, and I think it was probably made in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
of War of the Worlds, and every time I tried to watch it, I fell asleep.
Okay.
But
Not a ringing endorsement, but still,
yeah,
right?
so I would pick War of the Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
None for none. I like the first Alien better than the second Alien
Okay.
because the first Alien, it was definitely like had a horror creepiness to it.
Yeah.
While the second one, I love the second one, but it's just that the first one really grabbed me, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would put 2001: A Space Odyssey on the
Mm-hmm.
list,
Mm-hmm.
by itself because it was really, really science fiction. Star Trek, the motion picture. I
Mm-hmm.
would put not too many people talk about it these days, but I would put Outlands
Mm-hmm.
with
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery,
Mm-hmm.
which is indirectly related to Aliens.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. I would think the same thing.
yeah,
That we have, because we always have space as being this beautiful, shiny, sky thing. And this, no, it's grungy and dirty
Yeah,
and
well, that's
salvage and mining and stuff, you know?
yeah, that's the essence of the movie is that it showed that whole, how we looked at
Hmm.
space. That's probably going would be the reality.
Right.
And from what I understand, with little Easter eggs and tidbits, it's supposedly aliens, Outland,
Hmm.
and what's the other movie? Blade Runner,
Hmm.
all sort of like in the same world, you know.
Hmm.
Um, I would even say there's there's actually no, okay, I would actually say there's a silent film that was made in Russia.
Hmm.
I think the name of it is Atalina, the Queen of Mars.
Hmm.
I could be wrong with the title, but yeah. So maybe also is crappy. I would put two crappy science space
Hmm.
movies on the list. One would be Life Force.
Oh my gosh, I remember that one.
Yeah, Life Force, and I would also put a really horrendous Japanese space movie of the Mysterians on there.
Huh. I don't know that one. Thanks.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's the
think.
title. So it's possible I saw it and did not know the title.
Mhm. Yeah, so for the time being, that's all, and of course, Empire Strikes Back. These movies would be on my list.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Otto, did you have anything that you wanted to jump in for your favorites? Still had to be your favorites, but certain notable science fiction, or not necessarily science fiction, but space-based films.
Yeah, I mean, since we're kicking it old school,
Hmm.
Trip to the Moon, which was a French movie, a silent film. I think is everyone remembers that iconic
Hmm.
picture of the rocket going through the moon's eye, and
Yes.
the moon is a face.
Yes.
I thought that was really funny.
Hmm.
One of
But
the
they hit
first
the.
films.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. So I'm saying the other day, where they hit the people with an
Yeah,
umbrella or something.
and explode. Yeah, it's really kind of Art Deco kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
made. Then the Heavy Metal, which is a cartoon,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and had
Yeah.
a lot of different, like a
Yes.
anthology of stories.
Yes. I love heavy metal. That I mean, and I would not have thought of it, but yeah, that is certainly one of my favorites.
Yeah, Brother from Another Planet, which came out during the time that every space film, especially stuff made by Spielberg, didn't have any people of color in it, or
Hmm.
thought about people of color. So, Brother from Another Planet was a interesting one to
John Cena.
see. John Sayles, yep. So that was an interesting film.
Mhm.
Uh, let's see if I can think of any others. The Thing, um,
Oh yeah,
John
definitely,
Carpenter, which
definitely
is
top of my list.
which is basically something coming from outer space, just like the
Yes.
Brother from Another Planet, and also Heavy Metal, something
Hmm.
coming from outer space into Earth.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the Village of the Damned, which is
Yes.
another uh, kind of spacey. I'm not sure where this thing came from, but it's the original title of the adaptation of the book was called the cuckoo cuckold or some shit.
Cuckoo. Yeah.
Cuckoo, yeah, which I never thought
Cuckold.
about it too much
It's the
until I
Cuckoo.
cuckold.
found out.
Cuckold.
Hmm.
No, cuckoo.
Cuckold. Cuckold.
No, cuckoo.
Cuckold. Yeah.
Uh,
No,
the
it's
the
cuckoo.
cuckoo cucks,
Cuckoo.
the
Because the
cuckoos who were
cuckoo bird,
cucks.
which called the cuckoo, because with cuckoo birds, what they do is they infiltrate the nest of another bird,
Yeah, I had no idea. I
kill
thought
all
always
of
thought,
their birds, and then we'll put their offspring there.
when I
So
thought
it's
of
yeah.
yeah, when I thought of cuckoo, I thought they were like innocuous birds, like
Mm-hmm.
cuckoo for cocoa puffs, cuckoo. For,
Right, right, right.
just a
Silly
stupid
little bird, you
just a
know.
stupid bird. It didn't really. It wasn't any, anything. But these are dangerous birds, and
Yeah.
so, and this film is based on that kind of dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And so is Village of the Dam is also one of my
Yeah,
films that I would have
yeah.
on the list.
I mean, I have to jump in and say that one of the films that is on the list that I thought certainly belonged was Dark City. I always liked that film. And we don't know where it is. You know, these people believe that they're on Earth, but they don't really know where they are. You know, they're just in this city. It's dark, it's night all the time. And I thought that is one of my favorites, I have to say. You know, that's just me. But I think that's one that definitely would belong on a list, which is Dark City.
Yeah, and a bit of trivia, John Sayles, Brother from Another Planet is in the
Hmm.
public domain.
How?
Some somewhere John Sayles messed up and he lost the rights to it.
How did that happen?
I don't I can't recall offhand. Usually it's a case of like with Night of the Living Dead, I think you it was something in the title that
Hmm.
Romero was supposed to add
Hmm.
to it and he didn't. But with John Sayles, yeah, I just know that he doesn't have the rights. It's in public domain. Anybody who could get a copy of it can basically, I guess, if people still buy them as a DVD, they can buy it.
And you can play it without having to
Right.
pay the royalties.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cause in fact, cause he was really
It's the
having
Midwich Cuckoos. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's called the Midwich Cuckoos. Is the name of the book from which the Village of the Damned was adapted. Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt.
Um. Yeah. So he was having a lot of problems funding that movie. In fact, I think he had to not only take a pay cut, but
Hmm.
for some reason, I think he had to leave the Directors Guild or something like that.
Why? You're kidding. Why? 'Cause you couldn't afford to
Yeah.
stay in and dues?
Now he couldn't afford to stay in. It was like I said, he was having problems funding the film.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think the only way he can actually do the film was if he left the Directors Guild for a while or something like
That
that.
sucks. Well, that's not good, but I mean, it's interesting information, but not happy information to find out.
Yeah, it's in public domain. Yeah, and
I
that
cannot believe that.
yeah, and that's usually the case with some films. The director, producer makes a mistake, and they don't catch up to it, and then the next thing you know, it's in public domain. As
But doesn't it
opposed
take
to
like Lifetime plus 17 or something for your stuff to go into public domain?
21 plus 7.
yeah,
21 plus 7 years.
yeah,
Wow. What is that for? Just copyright or what is that?
Copyright.
yeah, copyright.
It was longer
Copyright
than
law.
that.
No, that was a class that I took that I hated in law school.
I thought there was a Disney thing that they added 75 years.
Yes, so did I.
I,
I
I
did
don't I don't know,
The
but
the Disney amendment because Mickey
maybe, but
Mouse was
I'm talking
threatening to
about
go on.
that could be, but it could be, it
Okay,
could
in
be before.
1998, it said 1998 was the Copyright Extension Act.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, but I'm just telling you, back in law
Because yeah,
school,
because
21 plus 7.
okay, they said it was 75 years at first. It was 75 years, the first date of publication. So this new one is 95 years, from the date of publication, expands it to, I think, 120.
Then
The
why is
old one, you
Brother
can
from
expand
Another
it to
Planet in
100.
public domain? Then
I don't know what
No,
happened to it.
I think it has nothing to do with
It may not be copyright. It may be something else.
yeah, it was something. It's certain guidelines that you have to
I mean,
follow
Yeah, the intricacies of it. I mean, there's a reason they got to. If that's the case, then why Popeye the Sailor Man? Why are we getting all the? I hate to get off on a tangent, but
Mhm.
Popeye's in public
Okay,
domain.
like I said, the code said, Jenner said the United States for works created on or after January 1st of 1978. The copyright term is typically the author's life plus 70. With joint works, it is 70 years after the last surviving author's death. Anonymous, pseudonymous, and works made for hire are 95 years from publication, 120 years from creation, whichever is shorter.
According to Wikipedia, due to an error in proper copyright protocols, the film became part of the public domain during its original release.
There you
So
go.
what did they? I still don't understand that.
They
How it
forgot
could
to fill
be?
out. They forgot to fill out something, and he couldn't afford the lawyers to make it right.
Well, I guess it's weird because if you say it's during the original release, this public domain is a possibility that is based on another work
No,
that was already in public domain.
I think like Sonia said, is a certain protocol.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find it, see if
He
they
forgot to
talk
check
about
a.
it.
He forgot to check a box. You know how it is.
Right.
And
Like
so the thing
with,
is, if you're doing things on a shoestring budget, maybe you forget to check a box.
yeah, and because I think in Ramiro's case, it was something in the title that
Hmm.
he left out, or what he
No,
didn't add, or something like that.
yeah, you can't copyright a title, but you have to attribute.
So we get into intricacies of copyright law, which is an
Mhm.
entire
Different
law school
story.
class.
Yeah.
It's
And I
not on
can't.
Wikipedia. It's not on
Nope.
Google. It's a law school class. So, but any event, the bottom line is this is public domain.
Yeah.
But they're saying that they did not include a proper copyright notice in its opening credits or packaging upon release, violating regulations
Yeah,
required.
that's what you get for trying to do
But
something
is that? But I
different
said that.
and on a shoestring budget.
But is that in the U.S. or is it U.S. and everywhere in the world?
Why it's why they couldn't make Dracula and all this other stuff. It's like you had to make it the count of whatever it was that they
Yeah,
made.
because Bram Stoker's estate, there were situations where you couldn't copy if it was too close to the image in his book. Then Universal Pictures, definitely the whole look with Bela Lugosi in the tuxedo and all of that there. That's why you had movies like Count Yorga, okay,
Mhm.
and they would, you know, they would come up with other names for vampire movies, and the name Dracula. That's pretty much. I mean, my God, um, that would definitely be in the public domain. The name, but
Mhm.
when it came to the book, in fact, actually, it wasn't until Coppola's version of Dracula that was the closest to the book.
And it is public domain.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was not copyrighted in the US the same as it was copyrighted in Great Britain. So it's in public domain here, even though it may not be there.
yeah. It's just like with a lot of science fiction, space-based movies from Eastern Europe.
Mhm.
A lot of them ended up in public domain. Crown Pictures, they were famous for like getting the movie on what is it, Spaceship to Venus. Uh, I can't recall any other um, titles, but those science fiction pictures from um, from Eastern Europe definitely were in the public
Mhm.
domain, or American International, my favorite movie company, they would repackage it and dub
Mhm.
the movies in English, you know. But
Mhm.
So if you want to remake Brother from Another Planet, you
Well,
have at it.
it says there's one caveat. A few
No,
years
it's just that
ago,
they're. But
I was gonna say that I'm reading an article about films in the plan, and they said, now they did mention that they forgot to put up the copyright symbol and all of that. And they said there's one caveat. A few years ago, the brother from Another Planet was restored, and sales added a commentary track. The DVD with the commentary track is covered by copyright because he properly protected it. Ironically, the Internet Archive, where you can see a copy of the movie, stripped away the commentary, putting it back into putting that particular version of their movie back into public domain.
So as I said, if you want to,
So if you want to buy the DVD with his commentary, it's copyrighted. If you find one without his commentary, it's not.
who cares about buying a DVD? If you want to remake the movie,
We can't remake the movie. It's only the movie that was the movie that
why can't you remake the movie?
Well, the movie they forgot to put the copyright thing on
Right.
is in public domain, meaning you don't have to pay.
Oh, you want to
royalties.
show it? You want to show it on your show without your
Right.
stuff being taken down?
Exactly. So we
I
can
want
show
to
that
remake
on
the movie
we
like
could put
Winnie,
no,
like
no,
Winnie
the
the
script-
Pooh and Popeye
no,
the
like the
Sailor and
script.
stuff.
No, none of that. The script is still his. It's still it's still protected.
Well, in this
but
world-
for instance, like on our show, if we said, hey, we want to show Brother from Another Planet on our show, and we could do it without any violation of copyright protection.
Yeah, I mean, I can go.
I wouldn't do it because I think it's shitty. Excuse my friend, but it's still,
Yeah, I mean,
know.
I can go in my room right now and get the DVD and then talk to the people down at the community center and show it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's fair use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you want to put it on this particular show, YouTube will take it down unless
No,
it's,
they won't.
YouTube. No. Unless it's what I was going to say is, unless it's copyright protected. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm
If it's
correcting you.
okay.
I'm
If
correcting you.
so whether it's copyright protected or not doesn't matter. Is
If
that what
you-
it-
This
if you
this
air it-
film is not copyright protected.
no,
The
I
new
was
film
just
is
talking
not.
about this particular. I'm talking about all films,
Oh yeah, also.
all
All
things.
films, yes.
Yeah, or now this is the thing, they pulled down something we had done, saying that it violated the copyright program, but it said no, it doesn't because we talked over it, we're discussing it, and we're doing the on entertainment and education stuff regarding it, so that it was not a violation, and then they had to undo it, because I was correct because I read the rules. All we have to do is talk over it. We just can't, put it out there. You have to talk over it.
Yeah, you could do the same thing with Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn's Charade.
Mhm.
That's not copyrighted. I mean, that's public domain too.
Well,
Uh-huh.
talking over things is easy for us because we talk over each other. So
You sure do.
it's no issue.
Yeah, that's right. Right, and I don't know. So we're talking about our favorites, and we're going, back and forth, and some in and some out. But I don't think you said what yours were, Sonia.
Well, Otto took my man a trip to the moon because that was one of the first films I saw when I started film school, my film studies. The man who fell to Earth with David Bowie. So
Okay.
his brother from Another Planet's already taken. Star Trek: Star Trek, the whales.
Voyage
Voyage
Home.
Yeah. Because
Voyage-
as much as I enjoyed the first movie, but it wasn't a Star Trek movie. They lost some of the nuances for Star Trek, but it was a very good science fiction movie in my book. But I think that one was the first. 4 was the first one when they hit the stride in showing the Star Trek world as it is.
Mhm.
I had another one and I forgot them all. Hold on, I'm refreshing my memory. Oh, Stargate. When they yes, the aliens helped the Egyptians, but not the way you think they did.
Mhm.
Trying to think which other one. My fun one, even though it's not a fun topic, was Thor Ragnarok
I
seeing,
love Thor Ragnarok.
yeah, that's my fun space movie,
Yeah.
even though it's not particularly a fun topic.
Yeah, but
And
I like it.
and Last Starfighter, where
Man,
you
I
get,
saw the back in the day. Man.
yeah, um, those, those are the ones when I watched them again, made me remember why I wanted to be in film. And of
That's
course,
good.
2001: A Space Odyssey, and then I got mad because in 2010, First Contact, we didn't have it. So that one fell off of my list. It's like it didn't happen,
Very
and we
cool.
could, yeah. So I don't tend to watch a lot of the movies that are based in space. I go more for character, and so um, I like in seeing the interactions of people, not necessarily the settings. When it comes to my science fiction, I like seeing how people react to their environments and to their each other in this future world
Yeah.
or off worlds. I
Yeah.
can tell you what would be my favorite movie if it ever got made is any movie that they build on Williams' books.
Yeah, that would be a good film.
I would love to see how they tackle that and bring it to a big screen. So it would have to be a series, but nobody knows where the status of that is now.
No, I haven't talked to his daughter lately about that, but I can. Gosh.
I put in a friend request because I wanted to keep in touch with her, but
Mhm.
I know she doesn't know who I am, so she's not gonna reach out and take the
You never
request.
know. You never know.
It's out there, so if
Mm-hmm.
she does, she does. But yeah, I remember being really affected though on a personal level by Bowie's "Man Who Fell to Earth,"
Mm-hmm.
and for the same reason I felt it with oh, I just blanked out on the name of it. The one with Dennis Quaid and Karen. That's a similar theme.
Dennis Quaid and who?
Randy Quaid, yeah, Dennis Quaid. They just Starman.
Starman. I thought that was one of the
Jeff
Bridges.
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 Yeah,
That's right.
Bridges. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the innate knowing that space is an innate is a innately lonely place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I got mad with Hallie's series when she did it because she
I
had the same kind of
I
concept
tried.
and it just didn't
It
work.
didn't hit.
Yeah.
But it would
I
have been nice if it had.
Yeah. But I that innate loneliness of space that
Mm-hmm.
even if you're with a whole lot of people, you're still up there all by yourself.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah. But yeah, I remember that film. In fact, I remember, I think I was in school, graduate school, of course, in Dallas, undergraduate school, that I remember Starman was filming here. So yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it, but by the time you think about it, as a wow, that was a long time ago.
And they tried to make a TV series that he comes
Yes, I
back in
remember that, the
another form
daughter.
and he's looking for his son.
Well, I thought they did one with like the daughter, and she was like, has abilities and stuff like that. Remember, there was like I don't know, it was Nickelodeon or something, that there was a regular TV show of a girl, and she was the daughter of the Starman, and it was a comedy thing. I don't know if anybody else remembers it, but I think there was something like that.
I'm looking up in IMDb to find out connections.
I can't remember the name of it, but I think that. And the woman who played I know you know her name, Otto, because she was in Saturday Night Fever. The girl that Tony was going out, he was trying to hook up with him, and he wasn't interested in her. His previous dance partner. I cannot remember her name, but she was in it. The television show. I think she was the mom of the girl, if I recall correctly. But I could be wrong. But I think that's what it was.
Okay, connections. Starman, the TV series, 86 to 87, with Robert Hayes and Christopher Daniel Barnes. An alien returns to Earth after an earlier visit to reunite with his Earth son, and together they search for the alien's human wife.
There's another one, just like it was a comedy thing on like a children's network, and maybe they just acted like it was like, but it was like they acted as if it was from Starman kind of thing, because the wife was always, I can't even remember what's her name. I can't remember the name of the young woman, or she's not a young woman anymore, but who played on Saturday Night Fever. I can see her face, but I cannot remember her name. But she was supposed to have like these abilities and stuff, and it was like a takeoff on Starman. But it was like if he had a daughter, and and he was communicating with them every now and then through some mechanism or something. So yeah,
I remember that.
but I can't remember. the name.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it
Pascal.
either.
Donna Pascal. I think that was her
yeah.
name.
Hold
I
on,
think
I'll
that's
look
what
up.
it was.
I'll look up Donna and see if I can find it for you. Continue on while I look.
Yes, continue. But does anybody else have anything that's space based? And I know when you said The Thing, Otto, I said, of course, that's like, top of my list. The John Carpenter's The Thing, or even like the original Thing, yes, but John Carpenter's The Thing, of course, was like one of the top films, in my pantheon.
Well, yeah, they both are pretty good.
Mhm.
And also the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original one,
Yes.
is also very
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Also, the remake
Even
is
the remake is
kind
really
of good with
good.
Lena Nimoy, but I trend toward the original.
Yeah, but they both were good. And I thought, what a it's kind of a sad, commentary, but it's still about, maybe not quote unquote, like the communism, but how people can be so brainwashed, and to believe just about anything. And people that were their friends and neighbors, that they will stomp on them in a second, and as they embrace some new reality, and I mean, people saw it happen during Nazi Germany, happened here in Red Summer. People go in, they may not have been their friends or relatives, but the other human beings, so they had no problem running in and stealing everything that they owned and using it for themselves. So if somebody just tells you, come do this, it's okay. And you throw all your morals out the door in order to gain, So yeah.
It sounds like right now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
More the same.
Yeah.
The TV series you were trying to remember is called Out of This World.
Yeah, okay.
A teenage discovers that her birth father is an alien and that she has supernatural powers.
Yeah. That's it.
Because Burt Reynolds was in it. That's why I'm playing her father.
All right, cool. So I mean, I think that's this list that we provided, the original list, is kind of, I don't know what they're thinking about. They're kind of all over the place, but it's interesting stuff.
Maybe doing TV shows, we might well say one of probably James's favorite show, Mork and Mindy.
You know what? I know that show existed, but I did not watch Mork and Mindy. Who watched that Mork and Mindy? I mean, I've seen like pieces of it. You know what I mean? Like you're going through and it's on and it's in the background. But I was not a Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, I can actually remember maybe sitting down to watch it actually twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because at that time, I hate to say it, I liked him later, but at that time, Robin Williams was just too much for me.
Yeah.
He was just too much.
Maybe they didn't have ADHD medication back then.
Maybe.
But he was also on the Richard Pryor show. So yeah. I saw him for the Richard Pryor show. I remember him there. I said, "Oh, let me check this dude out for the Richard Pryor show." So yeah, I mean, you could a little bit of Robin could go, oh goddamn way.
Well, see, you're different from me because I did not remember him at all from the Richard Pryor show, even though I watched the Richard Pryor show. And only when we just saw it recently, I was surprised that he was on it. And it's like, okay, I remember him, but I did not remember him as, oh, that's Robin Williams. I just remember, this guy, but not that guy was Robin Williams.
Yeah, I remember him for
Well,
that show, and he did a lot of stand up on the
yeah.
talk shows like a Johnny Carson and all those shows like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was the same thing with Steve Martin. He would pop up on TV until he got his career going. So Robin Williams, Steve Martin, yeah, they were. I guess you could say they were uh paying their dues back then.
There's no reason for Mork and Mindy to exist.
No, I
And
agree.
I don't know how
I
many
agree.
seasons that show lasted, but that was no reason. That was an onslaught of cruelty against our senses.
Yeah, I listen. I totally agree. That's when Gary Marshall was king of the hill.
Well, of the Happy Days spin-offs, I think Mork and Mindy was probably the best.
Yeah. Now that I would, even though I
But wait a
only
minute,
watched-
wait a minute. Hold on a second. You would think is Laverne and Shirley a Happy Days spinoff?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
So
you think Mork and Mindy is better than Laverne and Shirley?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're my enemy now.
Okay, well, I think we can all agree though that another spinoff from those shows, everybody hated Joni Loves Chachi.
Yeah, to this day.
I didn't at the time of first watching, and then I looked back and went, "What was I watching?"
I never watched it.
Laverne and Shirley, Schlemiel, Schlemazel,
Well,
Hasta
I will
Pepper
understand.
Come
And
on.
one thing you understand, Otto, I never watched Laverne and Shirley until I met you. No, I mean,
I'm a Penny.
seriously.
Listen, and James, you should know better. I'm a Penny Marshall fan from way back when she was
Myrna.
Myrna for Our
Myrna.
Couple.
Yeah.
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan. And I remember when she was on Taxi and Louis was trying to get an apartment.
Yeah,
And they didn't want her in the condo because she was an actress.
entertainer.
And Penny turned her butt around and flipped up her skirt. I said, I love you, Penny. You're the girl.
Listen, nothing for nothing. Another piece of trivia. They came from the Parkchester section of the Bronx, all of them.
Wow.
No joke with that accent.
Yeah.
I thought they was from Canarsie.
No, they came from Gary Marshall, Penny Marshall. They had a sister because the sister made a brief appearance with her on the Odd Couple.
Oh yeah, Myrna. What's up, Myrna's sister's name?
Yeah,
I love that. And Rob Reiner,
Right.
who was man, I love that.
right.
That's-
In fact, that's another thing because I think his father, Carl Reiner, he was from the Bronx too.
I love
Wow.
that. That
Yeah.
was so local. I love that.
Local.
I love and the thing is that Penny Marshall and Gary Marshall did Barefoot in the Park
Yeah,
with Scooey Mitchell. I forgot the actress's name,
yeah.
but nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing that. I mean,
Nobody
it wasn't
thought to do it.
successful. It wasn't successful, but he tried.
Right. I think Scoy Mitchell, he was not the actor to play that role. I should have gotten somebody else, like Robert Hooks or somebody.
It was boring. I mean, that's the problem. It was boring. I mean,
yeah.
he wasn't a clown.
No,
He wasn't
no,
a clown,
no.
but he was.
No,
he
but
was,
he did-
he was too
but he-
boring.
Yeah, and he did not have. He wasn't engaging like that.
No, he wasn't.
did
He's
not-
supposed to be the TV African American version of Robert Redford in the movie. So.
Yeah, but he, like I said, should have been like Robert Hooks to do a role like that. That's just the me saying that. The me of Meville.
But there was nobody else during that time to take the role, basically. So,
Right,
and
right.
Scoey was the guy. So
Yeah,
Scoey
yeah.
got in the role.
Yeah, because again, he's a comedian. And these people
Yeah.
are running that comedy circle, and so he's going to get the nod. You know, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And now, when you say this, now, and I'm going to jump over to another issue close to this, but when we're talking about these things, and I want to touch on like how many Black actors, actresses are in these films that we see as our sci-fi notables, if not favorites, but certainly, you know, space notables. And, you know, of course, and the one that we mentioned, you know, back a bit earlier was Event Horizon, you know, with Lawrence Fishburne as the captain of the Event Horizon. It's anybody else that jumps out at you. And I would say for myself, a lot of people probably don't remember the film or don't, you know, rank it very highly. But I like Sanaa Lathan in Alien versus Predator. The one I think she was the final girl in Alien versus Predator. And I thought she did a really good job.
Well, you got to say Larry Fishburne in the Matrix as Morpheus, although
But it's a space. It's not.
yeah,
It's
I mean
really
they're
space.
defending Earth. I mean the reason they're
But
in the
it's
position they're in
but they
is
come. But did the
is it
machines
space
came?
or is it machine? Or is it
Right, right. It's a
Chat
machine.
GPT or Claude or
Right,
whatever?
right, right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't say anything about the Matrix because
Wouldn't
I think
that
it's
be?
inner space and not outer
Yeah,
space.
yeah, I think that's inner space.
But I would say because if you say space generally, then are you going to open it up to films like The Abyss? You know, things that are underwater. You know, as being inner space. You know, is there a difference when we talk about space between outer space and inner space?
Yeah, well, they were aliens, so hey, outer space.
Okay, the outer space it is. It came from another planet. So
Well,
yeah.
well,
So I mean, but how many of these films that we, you know, rank, you know, pretty highly, you know, have people, like Black people and people of color in them? And like I say, you know, of course, you know, it's the horror, but Event
Well,
Horizon, you
Brother
know,
from
that was
Another
the
Planet is
brother from another
all
planet,
about them.
absolutely,
Yeah.
about the brother from another planet. You know, of course, like say, you know, like Sanaa Lathan in Alien versus Predator. I think that one film that I think was they had an idea, a kernel of an idea, but did not do as well as it should have because I think they didn't know where they were going with it. Was what is the one that comes the prequel to the Predator films? Then the prequel to the Alien films, not Predator, the Alien film. What is it? Prometheus. So I think they had a good kernel of an idea with Prometheus, but didn't know what to do with it. You know, it could have been a better film.
Well,
yeah,
if they had had slightly smarter people, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it just didn't know what to do with it. And then when they started off so poorly, you know, it's just like being like, you know, 9 degrees off and then continuing that 9 degrees off in the wrong direction and never getting back on track. You know, with the remainder of it, of the Prometheus part of the Alien series. So yeah. I say that because Idris Elba was in it, so that's notable. There we go. He was in that. Just want to remind people.
no,
But
no, yeah, yeah, it was a little bit of a disappointment for me.
yeah, it was truly a disappointment. I expected so much more. The premise I thought was very good, but they didn't know what to do with it. And I think the making like the Charlize Theron character, who's a captain or whatever, it's like, what was the purpose? You know, making her that way because it didn't serve the plot or not serve the plot. It was like it's a distraction from the plot. And then the ridiculousness to me, and I don't know what year it was. This was supposed to have been that the Prometheus was built, but why would you have a surgical thing within your bay that does not perform abortions or does not perform what do you call it, C-sections and stuff because it's only programmed for men. But you got 2 women in the crew. So why would that be? That I thought that was moronic. and it's such a plot device. It irked me so much.
Hmm.
So, it was just insane. Uh, I just thought, boy, yeah, it could have been so much better, so much better. Um, any other films you all can recall that have the out of that space thing? And I mean, there's one, and I think it is a remake of a film that, what is it called? Solara or something like that.
Solaris.
Yes, Solaris. I did like the film Solaris. Didn't you?
Yeah.
No.
And actually, both versions were
Yes.
second version was not quite as deep as the first one,
Right.
but was pretty good.
Yeah, I like that film. I'm trying to. Anybody else got anything that they want to jump in with? That
I would say that I can't remember the name of it, but the film with Sam Rockwell.
Moon. Think about the moon.
Yeah,
Oh, that was quite excellent.
yeah.
I thought, and I mean, it was so sad to me because even after you find out all this ish that happened, that they want to, of course, as usual, pretend it's not real. What that was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And of course, Norman Connors. You are my starship.
Okay, thank
Take
you.
me up tonight.
Okay, thank you.
And don't
Thank you, sir.
be late.
I appreciate that so much. But
Right.
the rest of the people here, they like to have
One.
their hearing.
Now, there's one that
Now,
definitely,
are you proud of yourself?
I am.
Indeed.
there's one that definitely will not make the list under any circumstances, and that one is, of course, Pluto Nash, the man.
Oh, wow.
I bet that made James' list.
Okay.
No, no,
This
no,
makes it like that. What were they thinking?
no. Even
Well,
for me,
An Eddie
no.
Murphy movie.
I know, but
Yeah.
what were they thinking? I mean, did you
That's
see
the
the
whole
script?
thing. They weren't thinking.
I just
I
want to
mean-
make some. I'm just gonna make some money, y'all. Just be quiet.
But I
These-
mean,
These white boys make horrible films all the time, and y'all gonna jump on Eddie like that?
yeah, but I'm going to say it's just kind of like they didn't know where was the script. I just kind of like what we just put a whole bunch of stuff together, not just like a whole bunch of bits together, and not really having a continuous throughway of an idea.
Well, that's probably what it was. That's probably what it was when he went to get his mail and the script was there and he sat down and read it. He probably at the time thought, "Wow, this is good,"
Mhm.
but then the finished product, no. But wasn't it another uh space movie he did where I think they were like tiny people or
Tiny people.
yeah they
Yeah.
was yeah.
Does somebody else remember the said film?
Oh yeah,
What is it?
it was a movie where he was playing I guess he was like a robot or something, and all these miniature people were inside controlling the robot.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah,
What
he
the
was
heck
like
was that?
I guess a spaceship captain, a starship captain inside the robot. Um, yeah, it just came and went real quick.
I
course,
can
you know,
imagine.
It's
'Cause that sounds cray.
it's 2 hours of your life you won't have to worry about trying to get back.
Wow.
What about that movie with Chris Tucker in it, along with
Oh my
What's his
God, the Fifth
name?
Element. Yes.
I hated
That
I hated that character.
you know what? I thought
hated
Julie
that
Rod was
movie.
okay. I disliked the movie because I did the character that Bruce Willis played. In my mind, I mean, it's just like a step from being a child molester. Because Lily was supposed to be like, just born alien person. And I said, I'm sorry, even if she was a young woman, you're way too old for her. I thought it was kind of, cringy. Or why would she be attracted to him? I mean, she's an alien, not blind.
Let's say, but because that's on page 43 of the script. That's why. So
Okay,
The
as
movie
long as
you
you say so.
the movie you were trying to remember before is Meet Dave, with the
Meet
miniature.
Dave, and that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
don't
read this
know.
description. A crew of miniature aliens operate a spaceship that has a human form. While trying to save their planet, the aliens encounter a new planet problem as their ship has become smitten by an Earth woman.
Okay.
Eddie turned down Ghostbusters.
Yep. Well, that was I can understand that when he's trying to make his move that he didn't think that it had sufficient lines and stuff for him. I get it.
Well, we gotta remember these two movies, Meet Dave and Pluto Nash. That was kind of like his low point in his career. 'Cause remember, he was coming out with bomb after bomb.
He sure was.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Hmm.
Aside, some people actually like that film.
James,
That's weird.
our
That's
connoisseur, our
No,
our connoisseur crap.
Thank you, and I will wear that title proudly. Connoisseur of crap.
Yeah, I like that. He
Now,
said,
what do you think of
copyright?
what do you think of Vampire in Brooklyn?
Nah, it was okay, but I wouldn't see. There's movies you go to the movie theater and you go and you watch it and you're like, wow, maybe I should sit through it again. Nah, I couldn't sit through it again.
No, he said, "Nah, that's okay." He said,
Yeah, it's probably if I had it in my DVD collection, it probably would be in the section that's gathering dust.
Yeah. He said, "No, that's not." I've seen it multiple times, and I have not liked it any time that I have seen it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
You got Eddie looking like he looked like Nick Ashford or something.
yeah, that one. That would be it.
And,
You're absolutely correct.
I don't really understand all of it.
But
So
one thing, so why was he a vampire in Brooklyn? I mean,
because you have to have something with Brooklyn in the title.
Okay.
yeah.
Right, it's okay.
It's just like back in there's a movie from back in the day. The title is Bella Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, and
Okay.
it has Bella Lugosi. Of course, he's a mad scientist, and he has
Uh-huh.
a gorilla, and he's in Brooklyn.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
gives the movie authenticity. Like last exit to Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of authenticity stuff. Brooklyn.
Yeah. There we go. The authentic Brooklyn. Bella and a gorilla from Brooklyn. Okay. A gorilla, was it gorilla from Brooklyn or gorilla or Brooklyn gorilla?
Meets
Both ways.
meets
It works.
Meets
Brooklyn.
a Brooklyn gorilla.
Yep.
Meets a Brooklyn gorilla.
The boy from Brooklyn with Danny. What's his name? What's the guy's name? Forgot his name. Who did The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
Oh, Danny Kaye.
No. Was it Danny? No.
Yeah, Danny Kaye.
Danny
Ben
Kaye.
Affleck.
Yeah, the kid from Brooklyn. He was
Yeah,
a
Danny
boxer.
Kaye, right?
He's a kid
Well,
from
I
Brooklyn.
mean that's truth in advertisement because Danny Kaye was from Brooklyn.
See, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Although
There you
Eddie
go.
Murphy was not from New York City at all.
And
Where's he from?
Yeah,
He's from outside. He's from like what is that place outside of Brooklyn, James?
Long Island.
Yeah,
Long Island.
someplace near there.
Oh my
Someplace
God, you
not
all
in
are
the
something
city.
else. See, you all like such. Oh my God, look at you all, such snobs.
No, but I
Oh
read
my
people,
goodness, y'all are such
Well,
snobs.
don't say you're from the city when you're not. Just
exactly.
Oh my
the people's-
goodness.
Yeah, I think he was from Hempstead, Long Island. or
yeah,
something.
some
my-
place like some jacked up place like that.
Oh my
According to
God,
IM,
you all are
according-
snobs.
according to IMDb, he was born in Brooklyn in
No, he wasn't.
1961.
Stop lying.
I'm reading I just said telling
Stop
you. I said
lying,
according.
IMDb. Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
right.
so now he said he ain't from there.
Yeah,
he ain't
no, he
from
ain't.
there.
No, he
Okay,
ain't.
well, I stand corrected because
No, you
I
don't.
just remember. No, I
No,
just
you don't.
remember from his his stand-up routine, he used to talk about Long Island.
Yeah, that's all. He was like, what's that place? Begins with the R or something?
He
Roosevelt.
said he went to Roosevelt Junior and Senior High School.
What's that? What the hell is that?
He said Roosevelt High.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
You're
he's
the
not-
New York experts.
Exactly.
Yeah, not in
I
Brooklyn.
left. I
That's
left
what
when
they're
I was
saying.
too young when I
It's not
left.
in
I
Brooklyn.
can't remember.
That's what they're
No,
saying.
well,
They're saying
you know-
like we don't know this place. It don't exist.
No,
Yeah,
well,
it's like from Yonkers or
there's-
something like that.
There's a Roosevelt High School in the Bronx.
Yeah, it's not in
Okay,
Brooklyn.
I mean, I went to Roosevelt, but
But you don't think he went
He ain't
there?
go there.
no, I
Not the
don't
Brook-
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
Nah.
know, I don't.
I think Roosevelt, Long Island, or something like that.
Possible.
Mm-hmm.
He's not from Brooklyn. Y'all stop what you call it.
So give him
You
the
know,
benefit
people
of the
want to
New York
reverse
doubt.
engineer their careers, but no, that's
Yeah.
not from there.
Nah, well, maybe
You know, in
it's-
his stand-ups, he admitted that he wasn't from there. He always
Yeah,
said, like
but-
James said, he's from Long Island. He always said he was.
But he could have been.
Mhm.
Listen. He could have been born in Brooklyn, and within the year he was born, that's the same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan comes from Brooklyn too.
Yeah, but we don't claim him.
I know.
We don't
But I'm
claim
just
just because
saying.
you're born there, you have to be like you have to live there. It's like, oh, I'm passing through, and my mother happened to give birth.
And you know what? You're gonna have to claim the author that wrote The King in Yellow, because I found out that William Chambers was born in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but did he stay there?
Up until he was like in his 20s, then he moved to France.
Okay. Well, that's the big
Well, that's
change.
different. That's
That's
different.
the big change.
That's like saying, like, people like say Carmelo Anthony was born in Brooklyn. No. Was there for a minute and then his family moved to Baltimore. Come on, you got
Okay, what about Sammy Davis Jr.?
him too.
What about Sammy Davis Sr.?
Him too. I don't know nothing about no Sammy Davis Sr. and Jr.
There must be one. There's Sammy Davis Jr., right?
Yeah.
You gotta be one senior
Yeah.
somewhere. Check
Right,
the
right.
drawer.
You could be a junior.
Yeah.
Closet.
Your name could be a junior and not have your father be a senior. It's like
I don't think
automatically,
so. Yeah,
automatically
that's
when you put junior, when your mother gave birth to you, she gave you.
Oh Lord. Oh boy.
Back to science fiction films.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this is my son, John James Senior.
Well, I mean, you know what?
Come on, man.
I mean,
your
I know.
name changes.
I know the things
Stop
like, for
it.
instance, like my grandfather's middle name is Senior. You know, so
There,
it's Senior, but it's not spelled the same way.
Well, we had a woman that came in once who was getting the library card for her stuff. And the answer said, "Is this right?" And the child's first name was Sir.
Okay.
And so they asked the mother, "Well, why was that?" And they said, "Well, his father wanted to make sure he always got proper respect, so that's why he made his first name Sir."
Okay.
Okay, y'all gonna make my head explode right now.
yeah, that's why after slavery, there were a lot of queens and kings in there with their first names to make sure that they
Yes.
were treated with respect.
Yeah, this is true.
And that's Mark Twain named you, then you named Slave Jim. So
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. We will all remember that because of you.
Back to science fiction.
Yes.
Okay, there are two that there's one that I think because at least part of the characters all come from space, it fits. And I still like it to this day. That's of course Men in Black.
Okay.
And the other one is Gravity.
Yeah.
Oh, I do think Gravity was an interesting film. I do
No,
think
I think it was a very good film.
yeah, I did like that. So I mean, I think there's so many other films, which is why it's curious to me that they came up with some of the films they came up with in this list because there are so many really good space-based films out there. some I'm sure that we haven't even thought about.
Right,
I'm not going to say
right,
like Flash Gordon or anything like that because that's
right.
not a good film, but it does exist.
Well, well, see, here's the problem with lists to me. Number one, you can't just just limit the list to just 10.
Right.
Okay, it's impossible. Okay, especially if 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 you have watched film for the last couple of decades, there's no way you can
Hmm.
narrow it down to just 10 films. It's just impossible, you
Yeah,
know.
no, but I think if you have 10 films that you really like, and say these are really great films that I really, really like, you could narrow it
Yeah,
down.
but
Or if your knowledge of science fiction, fantasy,
right.
and stuff like that is very narrow, and you only have a very narrow um, area that you like, you could do it there.
Well, see the problem with me is that in a
I'm better than
downtime.
everyone else and have superior knowledge. So when you all, with your ant-sized brains, are talking about film, it hurts my head. Okay, go ahead.
Nah, well, with me, again, I try to limit it, limit a list to like the top 10.
Uh-huh.
But as I as I go along during the day or whatever, I'm like, well, I think I should add this film
Hmm.
to the list, or because the film has become kind of dated, I should take that film off the list.
Hmm.
So it's and
What do you mean
then
by dated? What does that mean?
I mean dated by certain things that might trigger people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like case in point, getting off topic, but this is a film. I used to like to watch Doris Day and Calamity Jane, right?
Ah, yeah.
Right, because I love the way she sang. Was a Secret Love?
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I loved it. But then watching it a couple years ago, I noticed in the scene where Indians are chasing the stagecoach, and she's yelling about the Indians, and she says "Red N." I'm like, wait a minute, did I?
What the F?
Yeah,
She actually says the N word in that song.
Yeah,
yes,
so what did they put that in there?
Wow.
yes, she did, and I was like, wow, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't. I just don't feel comfortable watching that movie. Knowing that's in the movie. Not that it was on my top 10 list or anything like that. It wouldn't even
I
be
don't
on
think I
my
ever
top.
noticed it.
Yeah, it's yeah. Probably by now they probably beeped it out or just take
Or
the
scrubbed it.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, at
Wow.
one point she's on the stagecoach and she's yelling about the
I
Native
remember that
Americans.
scene. I
Yeah,
remember.
and I think she says, "Yeah, you bunch of red ends," and I was like,
Whoa.
"Whoa,
Whoa.
yeah."
Wow.
Did I just hear what she says? Oh my,
Which is interesting because there's a rumor that Doris Day was black.
Yeah. My
Well,
friend
it's
my friends are from Cincinnati say, yeah, that she was.
yeah. Plus, it's a known fact that back in the early '70s, she used to date Sly Stone.
Hmm.
Okay, that is no accident that on his Fresh album he does his version of K Sarah Sarah.
Hmm.
Okay,
I
because
would have thought, I'm sorry, with Sly Stone, if I to her that he had dated her or something, I said, what, you got a mama complex, a white mama or something?
yeah,
I'm
yeah, but
sorry, she seemed way, way older than him to me.
then you might have wanted to ask Red Fox because Red Fox used to date what's her name? I forget her name, but she played Miss Hathaway on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yikes!
Nancy Cole.
Yeah, yeah. He Red
But you know
Fox.
what, Nancy Cole, um, she just looked like that. She made herself look all school marmy, but she
Right,
wasn't that
right.
old.
Yeah, she
She wasn't
did.
that old. Hmm.
Yeah, because I remember one episode of some show that had what's her name, Gail Gordon, I think, on it.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
used to play My Little Margie. There was one show where she was working on a cruise ship, and what's her name, Cole came on, and she was looking plain Jane, and
Hmm.
she said, "Okay, well, we need to do a makeover."
Hmm.
And they did a makeover, and I was like, "That's the same woman that played Miss Hathaway on the Beverly Hillbillies," because she was looking kind of with blonde hair like a Marilyn Monroe.
There
Also,
used,
also it helps that if you're a kind person, that's
yeah,
also attractive.
Yeah.
And Nancy Culver's a very kind person, from what I
Yeah,
read about
yeah.
her.
There
yeah.
used to be a picture of her in the FSU English, where the English departments had, because it
Hmm.
used to also hold the drama back in the
Hmm.
day, and she's an alum. And the picture, I had to go back and forth and go, that's the same person.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's one of FSU's grads made good.
Hmm.
So there's plaques about
Oh,
her all
cool.
over. Used to be plaques about her all over campus. But we digress.
Right,
Yeah.
as
So
usual.
again, I guess we kind of going off and trying to get ourselves back into outer space. Um, and is there again, start talking about how inner space versus outer space, and then people of color in some of our favorite films, or whether having a person of color makes a difference in it. Being a film that you would even watch. You know, especially
I think more so on television than in
in
movies.
films. Okay,
Yeah,
does anybody
because
agree?
And I
you had a lot of shows like Land of the Giants, and you have
Yes,
various
yes,
Star Trek episodes and various
yes.
other movies, especially during the '60s and '70s when you had black people in sci-fi and space,
Mm-hmm.
but not so much in the movies. You didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And this was when I would have kicked myself if I didn't think of it just now. Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, I forgot about that film. That was a cute film, and I thought it was so funny when the guy who was the navigator and said, "Well, how do you know?" Well, we just copied what it was that you were doing with your hands. So okay.
I wonder when there's going to be a Voyager movie, if ever.
Man, everybody will be like, they will not be able to play themselves because everybody will be too old.
No, I know. Well, Leonard Nimoy, he played an older Spock, but the actors played various characters that existed in the original series. But Tuvok is on that show, and to me, he was groundbreaking. Cool Tuvok.
It was fantastic. My favorite Vulcan, Tuvok.
Tuvok plays a big role. If you go on YouTube, there's a Khan audio series, and Tuvok is like is a major character in that radio drama.
Oh, cool.
And they're talking about doing a Janeway series, and some of the cast have appeared on or in animated form in Star Trek Prodigy, which I don't
Prodigy.
know where it is anymore because of what's going on, but it
Hmm.
may come back because the CEO of Paramount is a huge Trek fan.
Okay, well, we'll see how that works out for it.
So
All right.
But-
Cool.
So yeah, if you love Tuvok, listen to the audio drama Khan. It tells the backstory. It tells what happened to Khan when between the time Kirk dropped him off and the time he reappeared in Wrath of Khan.
Mhm. I hope it's good because
It is,
I hope it's good.
and I'm not
because I'm gonna
biased
tell you,
because
I tell you, it doesn't sound like something I care about.
Well,
No, but
it's from the perspective of Marla Givens. But it does tell the story of how what happened to the planet, how they survived, etc. And I'm partial part because I do know one of the executive producers on that.
You said Producy?
Huh?
You said
The, produce,
Producy?
the producer.
I thought you said
Yeah,
Producy.
but
Oh.
but also it's like this is we
Producer,
already know.
Producy.
Well, since we already know that the place was like it was a desert rock that was difficult for them to even cultivate, and that by the time the Wrath of Khan comes along, I mean he is beside himself with anger because rage because everybody dies.
It wasn't
and-
originally a barren place. That's part of the main premise. Something
they
happened.
should never have let
Yes.
Monsanto come up there.
Yeah, but yeah, it tells the story, and it's a lot of people have enjoyed and made favorable comments. Me, one of them.
And also,
So-
you don't miss the part where Tuvok wished Penelope a happy birthday that time.
Yeah, that was so
So,
effing
yeah.
cool.
But yeah,
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite things of all time. I still have it. Like, it's not just in my computer; it's on the desktop of my computer. And every now and then, so my birthday's coming up, next week, and I'm gonna play it for myself. So there. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
And
But
my
yeah, Tim-
son is great for getting it done. Actually, the story is that he had done it, and then my son listened to it, and he always said, "I'm sorry, this is not good enough." My mother is a science fiction fan from her childhood, big fan of the show. She is a writer. You're going to have to do better. And he redid it. He said, no. No. This is not somebody that you just, yeah, happy birthday to you, blah, blah. I said, no. This is an Uber fan, and you must put more into it. And he did, and it was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Tim Russ. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, it was great. Still one of my favorite things.
yes. So if you enjoyed Tim Russ, he's
Oh,
in it.
love him.
He-
Love him.
He and George are both in it.
Cool. Very cool.
In all 9 episodes.
All right. Well, I mean, I want to think about the list that we originally had being space things and finding a particular issues or individuals or creatures or whatever that we're not quite sure whether or not they are from space. Like again, the Donnie Darko. Is that something that is a space alien, or is it just something that is a crazy thing somebody's had? I mean, what do we think? And the space between your ears, does that count?
I think
space?
that the person that made this list, they spilled coffee on the original list.
Yeah, that must be it. That
And
must
they
be it.
got a piece of paper and pen to start over, and they totally got confused with and forgot what was on the first list. So they was okay, Donnie. Thank you.
Yeah. See something
Trying to
on here.
recreate it from memory.
Yes. And did not do the best job of it. So here we go. All right.
Incredible.
And
I tell you.
and do try to find what do they call them now? Scripted podcasts, audio dramas. There's a whole lot out of there in space because it's easier to do space movies in audio form than it is in visual. So there's a whole bunch out there.
Cool. I'm trying to. This is something I didn't mean to do, which is I'm trying to get this thing that you did here, Sonia.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the direct link to Khan
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Khan Academy keeps popping up.
Mhm. Okay, all right. Do that, man.
Let me see if I can find it quickly so I can share it because yeah, I enjoyed. There it is. Straight to the last episode instead of the first.
Mhm.
So hold on a minute. Let me back up. See if I can find a playlist. They've got to have a playlist with it. No, they don't. Whoever's curating the page is not a.
Hmm.
Okay, hold on. Where's episodes 1.
No. All right.
Hold on. Episode 1. Episode 1. Where's. Okay, can't find episode 1 that way.
Well, I know that we've got about 10, 15 minutes left. If anybody
Yeah.
has anything that they think is, groundbreaking or with regard to things that are on the list, that you agreed that they should have been. I know everyone says 2001. I certainly say Dark City. What is on the list that you think actually was deserving of being on the list? If you have the list.
Well, I don't have the list. Again, the list. I'm sorry. The list just has too many flaws.
I
Yeah.
don't think that 2001 Space Odyssey deserves to be on the list. I think that's an overrated movie. I think a lot of people say they watched it, but they haven't watched it.
Well, they did
And,
watch it, but they saw it at the beginning and the end because they fell asleep in this dinner. They didn't realize that there was another part in the middle.
Yeah, and probably like the suspect Zarathustra. They probably like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds really cool in the beginning and all that, but it's not. It's not a. It's not. It's not what it's all cracked up to be.
I mean, I like the
Yeah,
film, but the thing
I
is, in the
would.
middle of it, the film, it's a little soft. The beginning is, of course, it's a Kubrick film. The beginning is gangbusters, and then the middle is nice and soft. Just like there's no substance usually to the middle of a Kubrick film, and then they end on something, really momentous or something. But
Yeah, I would say that it belongs on the list. You know, I don't know. To me, the middle part of it wasn't that bad.
I mean,
I
I just
would.
think it's kind of soft. I mean, it's just like this. It just kind of course, the film is
Hmm.
very quiet. It's a very quiet film,
Yeah.
and not a lot happens other than uh spacewalks and conversations, and
Hmm.
there's just not a whole lot. I mean, if you're not like riveted by space programs and things that go on in space programs, it can lag. It can really lag.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I first saw it, and I must have been in my early teens,
Hmm.
I did not care for it. I did not care for it. But when I got older
Hmm.
and I came back to it, like I guess maybe 79, 80 or something like that, then I got it.
Hmm.
Okay, I got it. I enjoyed it. But when I first saw it, I was like, what is this? I couldn't get into it, but years later I could. I don't think it's overrated. I think if anything, it was groundbreaking
Hmm.
because you gotta remember special effects back then. When 2001 came out, special effects weren't that far removed from like old Flash Gordon, movies and such. Special effects, practical effects.
There are a lot of practical effects.
Yeah, it's a lot of practical effects. So the way it was shot, the practical effects, I, you know, I years later I fell in love with it. I got the story. I understood it. Actually, 2010 was a bit of a disappointment,
Mm.
because it was kind of weird in that it, you know, 2001 was more futuristic looking than
Hmm.
2010.
Yeah.
They either
But
2000.
but but
Yeah.
think about it, like you said, in 2001 more futuristic. But then you think of it in the same context of things like Outland and Aliens, and that they're trying to make it appear that the future will look more like now
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
than something quite
Yeah.
wild and new.
Yeah. And yeah, that it looked, it had the same look and feel out in space. 2010 did, but when they showed parts, when the parts when they were on Earth, like
Mhm.
especially the part where I think Roy Schreider talks to what's that black actor's name? I just know him from the TV show Tenafly.
Mm.
but
Robert Etcham.
thank you. But the when they filmed the parts where they on Earth and they're talking, I think they're in front of the White House at that. I was like, well, shit, that looks like they filmed it yesterday.
Mhm.
It didn't. I guess I was expecting them to be talking and they have on collarless suits,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Nehru jackets and
Nero jackets and
yeah.
whatnot, and maybe a woman come walking by, walking her space poodle and just go boots.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't care for it too much. It looked like one long IBM commercial to me. So it's really boring. I did like. I forgot to mention Planet of the Apes, which is a space film.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Ah,
how could
yes,
forget that? That's like one of the kings of
yes,
space movies.
yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
You remind me.
yeah.
Yes,
I could forget that. That's one of the best space movies ever made. I mean,
Although they went in space and they didn't really go anywhere, right? They just went in
well,
time.
they just
It's
thought
more
they had gone to
time than
space. Yeah,
space.
it's more time travel, but
yeah. Well,
they
they
thought
went up and they came
they came
down.
back down. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
but
and on listen, I managed to get the clip at the end when Dr. Zayas tells what's his name to read, what is it, the lawgivers?
yeah.
Yeah, and how relevant is that? I,
Mm,
I mean, how relevant is that? He's like, beware of the beast, man.
hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
very
It's
relevant.
yeah. I mean, it is something. That you drive. His other people out of their homes. And it's really kind of oof.
Yeah.
It's they know. It said no. It wasn't that. We thought men were inferior or whatever. We know all about you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All about
All
you.
about you. We know who you
What you're
were, what
And
capable
of
of.
course,
you're capable of.
Escape from Planet of the Apes, which is really good too.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, I could actually, it's funny. I saw all of those Planet Ape movies except for the original one in the
You
movie
gotta be
theater.
kidding.
No, I didn't see the first Planet of the Apes until TV, but the rest,
Well, you're right. I saw the first one on television.
yeah.
And then the rest of them we did see in a theater, but we went to the Thunderbird theater. It's like what do you call the thing? What you call theater? Outside, what you call theater? And they had a marathon and it was
Hmm.
all six. And so we went like right after sundown, all six Planet of the Apes films.
Wow.
And our parents, of course, took us to see all six Planet of the Apes films.
Yeah, that was the franchise back then.
Yes,
That
it
was
was.
that was the
It
franchise.
was indeed.
Um, a lot of a lot of a lot of stuff in those six movies. You
Yeah.
name it. We
Which
had it
last was
in
a
there.
battle for the Planet of the Apes was the last
Hmm.
one.
Yeah, fight like ape,
Mhm.
fight like ape. This was the world we made.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, James. Thanks so much. Okay. Yeah, but I mean that was a thing back in the day. It's true.
Yeah.
No. And again, space films, well, it's time, space kind of thing. I mean, because they did fly up and come down, but absolutely, yeah, that is really one of the best. The end of the first film is iconic. You blew it up. You did it.
You damn fools! You blow it. You blow it out.
Well, oh the hell.
Damn you to hell!
Wow.
This was the world we made.
Oh, what a
even Even the doll, mama. But yeah, that was a classic. I I can't think of I can't think offhand.
Anything else that jumps up at us, but I tell you, especially when somebody gets you off, off focus with some of the films that they placed on the list, that it throws you a little bit off. But there are some really great
Yeah,
films.
all I gotta say
And
is
again, and I'll say this. Sorry, Otto. When you gave the Village of the Damned and the more recent Cuckoo film was Vivarium,
Yeah,
that film, that film, wow, wow, that
yeah.
is
I think
creepy,
people fall
creepy.
into certain films and they put them on the list because they heard it on the list. I don't think they saw anything. They just put it on
Yeah,
the
or somebody
list.
told them about it and they just okay. But that Vivarium, when the people are going to look for the house and they go into this neighborhood where all the houses pretty much look the same, like these starter homes. Wow. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but that movie, that is,
And in the Village of the Damned, there's a Christopher Reeve version, I think.
yes, there
yeah,
is.
That's
yeah.
not good. Don't watch that.
Don't watch that.
But let me ask and say this: do you think it's because this list, right? Do you think it's because people are just not really paying attention to the word genre? Uh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad they're not paying attention or that they don't even understand that everything that's science fiction is not space.
or do you think it's people these days have a confusion about about history? Because, and I say this is because I came across a video on YouTube where they were trying to talk about pre 1934 code movies
Mm-hmm.
that was supposedly too terrible to show, and it was a list of 10. All of the movies on that pre 1934 code list that they were
Mm-hmm.
showing parts of the listing were from the 1960s.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And I'm like, wait a minute, what is somebody's not doing their math? Why are they
Mm-hmm.
showing movies from the 1960s and saying that these were pre 1934 movies?
AI,
Yeah, not watching, not paying attention.
AI, probably
Thank you.
AI doing it
And
for you.
Yeah.
that's what I was leading up to. Do
And a
you
lot
think?
of film study
Mm-hmm.
courses now start at like early Lucas Spielberg.
Uh-huh.
They don't go that, not realizing where they got their influences from.
Mm-hmm.
That's just stupid. That's like ignoring Shakespeare and stuff and just writing. And maybe there are people like that, but one thing I have noticed, have taken film studies in college, just like some of you have, is that you don't see a lot of the camera angles that you've seen in like Citizen Kane, or the Dutch angles that you see from
Mm-hmm.
the new wave of films, or the
Right.
Ingmar Bergman lighting and stuff like that. That cinematography doesn't seem to be a thing anymore, and just the cameras are, I guess, automatically setting the tone for
Mm-hmm.
certain films.
I would also include soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. When was the last
Scores.
time
Yeah.
soundtrack scores?
Yeah.
When when was the last time you've heard of a piece of music from a film and not a song? I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about a piece of orchestration that actually grabs you.
Yeah, I was watching the Magnificent Seven the other day, and they had
Mm-hmm.
the uh the
Theme for
score.
Magnificent
It was
Seven,
scored
yeah.
by Elmer Bernstein, and so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have that. You don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think the last one grabbed me was probably in Sinners.
I was getting ready to say that the scene where they briefly go through the
Yeah,
evolution
Well, only thing I would say with
Mhm.
that, only thing I would say with that is it a theme song that's used throughout the movie? Is it the sinner's
Mm.
song? You know, as opposed to that
This one
themes
theme
that
will show up
scenes.
Right.
again as a through line throughout the film, tying it together. It's like when you see something that uh, this Danny Elfman has done the
Yeah,
score, and
right.
and it ties you all the way through. Or like
Or The Empire Strikes Back. That's
yeah,
theme.
John Williams,
That they turn it up every time you know
yeah,
what's happening.
Right.
You
Or
getting
yeah,
ready.
something like we both, you and I, Otto, we both like Bernard Herrmann.
yes,
Yeah, Bernard Herman. You know something is something given. You help the audience out. Let me help you out a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
Something get ready to
Let
happen
me
now.
let you know, and so you can be on tenterhooks waiting. It's
Right.
coming,
The
it's
same
coming.
thing with Superman. Christopher Reeves versions.
Yeah, that's
You know,
right.
you
It's
have that theme. You know, you have
John
that.
Williams.
Yeah, I think the only people doing it now on a consistent basis is the Marvel films, because they'll play variations of different things, and
Mhm.
if you know it, you know it, but it doesn't interfere with the rest of the movie for
Mhm.
those who aren't familiar with
Yeah, it helps with the
behind the scenes
story.
of Marvel.
Mhm.
It helps with the storytelling to me, so
Right,
that it's
right.
no longer
Yeah,
there.
I'm,
But
I'm
with that, and I missed the camera angles because that also told you something was going.
That's
For instance,
right.
the Dutch angle that was used as a classic angle that tells
Yeah.
you that something
Something's amiss.
something's amiss. That
Something's
totally totally
off
gone. So you have a
kilter.
whole
Yeah.
like generations of film goers that don't even know what that is. They
I
don't
think we have
experience
another
it.
topic for another show
Yeah.
since we're running out of time.
Yeah.
I would love to continue this conversation. Y'all are bringing up some very great points about the art of film watching and what helps you pull into the art.
Yeah. But I think a lot of the problems that we've had with this is even when you go into animation, video games, etc., this movement that they had at one point, into some photorealism, you know, moving away from like traditional animation art, and people, saying that of course the rejection of things like the uncanny valley stuff, but always this concept of wanting to see it the way it is instead of to see it in a way that is a creative way of observing it. When I'm looking at something and it's a Dutch angle, I don't ever see anything in life at a Dutch angle. But if you are doing that, I'm understanding that something is off, right? When a scene is in color and it kind of fades into black and white, no, that doesn't happen to me normally in life. But if it does, I'm watching a film, you're trying to tell me something. You're trying to explain, showing me something. And I think that we've gotten too much of people trying to make everything on camera to make it as realistic as possible, not realizing that to make it look realistic is not
Right.
necessarily artistic.
There's various ways to tell a story. I think the last
Hmm.
director to use camera angles in that sense was M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like in Unbreakable, you had the mirror, the upside down, and
right. Yeah,
all that
and
stuff.
using that
It's not
as
used anymore.
a part of the atmosphere. Hmm. Absolutely. Right. Well, guys, we're on that last minute, and so thank you everybody so much for joining us today for the show. Maybe next week we will get the opportunity to talk about some of these the visuals, the audio, and some of the film watching, and what you should do to try to best get the most you can out of a film. Maybe we'll make that into a topic. So again, thank you all so much for joining us. Take care of yourselves. Anybody got any shout outs before we get out of this thing? No? All right.
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's for all us international women's.
Happy birthday to Penelope, which is
Yeah.
March 11th.
All right, y'all. So that we'll get a day older and hopefully a day wiser. All right. Take care of yourselves, y'all. See you next week. Hasta la vista.